Hey guys, it's been about 3 months since I have uploaded a video in this channel, and it's because I've been focusing hard on building a software that lets you create fully self-hostable AI voice agents. Okay, I'm going to be showing you how it's going. It's not launched yet, but yeah, I've decided that I want to be doing a weekly video or a bi-weekly video updating you guys on the progress. Maybe some of you will be interested and want to wait for the launch of the product. But yeah, I'm going to be doing a quick tour now so that you can get the full context of how it's going, and then next week's basically are going to be about the progress, what I've been implementing. Okay, great. So I truly don't know where I could be starting from, but yeah, here we have the agents. Okay, first of all, the most simple thing, the agents. Okay, the AI voice agents, you can create the agents here, and you have this editing/creation form. Okay, you can have Gemini Live API and this mode separate STT, LLM, and TTS. Well, so I truly don't know where to start, so I'm just going to start with the most basic thing, that's the voice agents. Okay, so here you can create a new voice agent. You can set a name, select the mode, Gemini Live API to use this service, or to use a separate STT, LLM, and TTS. It is not actually in beta, so I have to remove this, but yeah. And here you'll have a simple mode so that you can set up the different providers and models. I'm going to be adding more available providers and more models for each provider. Okay, don't worry about it. It's not my priority right now because I'm working on other features, but yeah, I'm going to be making sure that all this is set up correctly. And you have an advanced mode that I'm actually thinking about just removing the advanced mode because it makes no sense and it's extremely complicated to use. So yeah, I think that I'm just going to leave the simple mode and that's it. Okay, and actually for some analytics calculation, you can set the provider cost here. Okay, I could be adding this automatically in the software, programming the hard coding the cost per minute or something like that, but I've decided that as you can see, I'm going to be allowing for a lot of providers to be available and will be difficult to catch up, to keep up with all the pricings of all the models and so on. So that's why I'm giving you full freedom to set the right provider cost and even allowing you to select dollar per second, per minute, per hour, or per million tokens, per token, or 1,000 tokens, and all this. Okay, this is actually going to be useful to calculate the whole cost that you're incurring to, or the agent is incurring to. And if you are selling this agent to a client, you'll probably be able to also charge per minute if you want a markup per minute. So yeah, you can select the language, of course, available for each model. You also have this option to connect the agent to an NNMCP server URL in case that you want to do that. You have a knowledge base. You can connect this to a knowledge base system that you may already have installed. Okay, so you can use LightRag, Quadrant, Pinecone, Supabase, Wave8, or if you use any other RAG system that it's not in this list, you can either contact me and ask me to whatever RAG system you use, or you can just use the custom API and that's going to be it. Okay, you have an advanced configuration here to make sure that everything works correctly. Okay, you can set ambient sound, for example, office ambience, so that it sounds like the agent is inside of an office. And the thinking sounds is basically a sound that will be played whenever an agent is running a tool. Okay. In advanced option, you can enable turn detection with preemptive generation. Basically, this, as it says, is that it starts generating response before user finishes speaking. This is to make sure that it is as quick as possible. You can set some of the parameters here. Okay, you can also allow for video input in case that you use Gemini Live API, because this is not only a platform to create voice agents that can take and make phone calls, but also web calls. You could be adding an embed that exactly looks like this to your website and have it share and have the user share their screen. Okay, great. Then the VAT settings. So turn detection is an AI model that detects the end of the turn, and it's basically the same but with another approach. and yeah, some timeout and cost protection and all this. Then in prompts, you have the simple mode. Basically, I've tried to have the best template to prompt an agent. So that's why you have this simple mode where it's much more guided. However, if you just want a text area like this, you can have the advanced mode and that's it. Okay. So yeah, then in tools, you can add tools, a basic HTTP form with authentication in case that you want to be sending that. I would highly recommend to be sending that. And yeah, you can also be configuring this tool with JSON instead of just parameters like this. Okay. And then in security, this is something that actually I've added yesterday, that it's basically, I've been seeing that there has been some attacks to voice agents from other bots that basically continuously repeat the same phrase, okay? Just to waste tokens of your agent and make sure that your bill is extremely high, okay? So that's why I've added this, and it works basically if the callee basically repeats the same thing or the three things similar 3 times, okay? The same thing 3 times, and that basically it looks like the phrase is similar. You can control this with a similarity threshold. The agent is going to stop listening and it's going to try to verify the callee, okay? And in case that the callee is, say, verified or the challenge word that you set here, then the conversation is going to continue. Otherwise, the agent is going to be hang upping the call, okay? That's it. Great. Then you have a lot of stuff here. So, for example, you can keep up with you can have here the uptime, the crashes in the last 24 hours, the usage of the CPU. Actually, I'm going to be storing these agents so that you can see it live. You can have these embed. Actually, I'm still working on this customization to make sure that you have enough freedom to set this widget the correct way, okay? So that it fits your brand and your website or your software, because of course you can also add it to your software in case that you have a SaaS or whatever. So yeah, this is basically how it looks. Okay, I have to improve this because it's doing a weird reload. Yeah, I'll have to modify this and also make sure that these graphs are able to show you the usage before you open this, because currently it starts the usage when you open this model, okay? Then you have a full conversation history, okay? You have the transcriptions. You can also allow in call flows that it's something completely different that I'm going to be showing you, okay? But you can allow for post-call evaluation, and in case that you have that enabled, it's going to be showing you here. And you also can record the call, either only audio or audio and video, okay? You can export all this in case that you want, and you also have access to the code of the agent and the logs of the agent, okay? Great. You can also export all the configurations in case that you want of the agents. And yeah, I think I've shown you everything in the agents stuff, okay? Then we go to the call flows. It's another important feature of the software, and I'm actually still working on it, adding more nodes. As you can see, it's basically a no-code builder with all these nodes, with a start node, end node, connect agent node, conversation, routing, that it's basically conditional, extract value, transfer to a human. You can also transfer the call to another agent with this connect agent, press digit, send email, schedule callback. You can also schedule callbacks either with the call flows or the agent natively has access to a schedule callback tool. Okay, so it's going to be adding that. And today I was working, before recording this video, I was working on an IVR menu so that you can add here the DTMF options, like press 1 if you want this to happen, like talk to a specific department. You know what I'm talking about, I hope. And yeah, you can here allow for recording calls and so on. I'm not going to be showing you extremely deep all the nodes, but basically you can do all this. I think that it gives you a lot of freedom to do whatever you want. Okay, so yeah. You also have the history here. This is something that I'm still working on it because it is not tracking the things correctly. And also you can export this call flow in JSON and import the JSON, and also copy the LLM instructions so that you can paste it in ChatGPT or Gemini, whatever LLM that you use, and have the LLM build a call, because then it's going to be writing the call flow in JSON. You can save that in a file and then import the JSON, okay? And it works, okay? I have already tested that. Also here in conversations, you also have the same history, but since you can have different agents participating in a single call flow, that's why I have this conversation history in call flows, and then agent-specific conversation history. And here in conversations, beside all these, you also have an insights model where it will allow you to do a lot more debugging in case that you do not know why something failed, okay? And don't get scared about the LLM latency and all this. I'm still working on improving the latency. It's not this bad normally, but I'm still working on it. But yeah, basically it looks like this. It's a timeline. You can click on it, and also you have the whole list of events here. And if you click on the different events, you then have the detailed information here, like the provider and the model, stream, the duration, and so on. Okay, so it's pretty in-depth. So yeah, I think that you must have the post-call evaluation enabled in the end node. Okay, here in post-call evaluation, you can choose the provider, the model, and so on, and have a prompt for the post-call evaluation LLM. You can also send this to an email, okay? Send the post-call evaluation be sent to an email in case that you set up SMTP in the settings, or have it sent to a webhook, okay? Then what else? I think that I'm trying to go as quick as possible, but without leaving anything behind. So you also can have these clients/departments added here to keep track of costs and so on. Okay, so I've added this demo client, and here in the editing form, besides providing the basic information, you can also link agents. For example, let's link this one. And you can add here a markup, okay? So in case that you want to be charging 10% more of the cost per minute that you've had, for example, simply imagine $1 per minute, okay? Just to make things simple. In case that you want to be having some more profit on a per minute basis, you could be adding, for example, a 20%, and in that case, your client, it's going to be billed $1.2 per minute automatically. And it's going to be showing that in a client portal, okay? Because I have also added a client portal. It basically looks like this. In this case, I have set this up as demo. And yeah, so basically, it's going to be showing the total cost. It's going to be your cost plus the markup, okay? And you can also, actually, I think that I have to be adding that, but yeah, you can also set up the human equivalent per hour or something like that. And it's going to be showing the total save, the ROI, and different graphs like calls over time, cost over time, calls by agent, and all this. This is a pretty basic client portal. If you have any feedback on this, please let me know, okay? But yeah, then you can set the username and the password here for the client portal, and you can customize how it looks, okay? I was just showing everything, but you can disable some stuff and the client is not going to be able to see whatever you untick, okay? The same with the graphs, okay? This is for the metrics. And then you can also set custom metrics. This is quite interesting, I think. And it's basically to keep track with a post-call evaluation, okay? If you add a custom metric here, for example, let's prompt it like, I don't know, vodka bottles ordered, okay? Let's imagine that it's quite difficult to keep track of the vodka bottles ordered in a client of yours, that it's a hotel, and you set up an agent for them to be responding or to be taking calls from people that are in their rooms, basically ordering bottles or food, whatever, okay? So this agent could be keeping track of all the vodka bottles ordered to see what alcoholic drinks are being ordered the most, what food is being ordered the most, and so on, okay? And you can have an absolute metric like 1, 2, 3, 4 bottles, or a percentage in case that it makes more sense for that specific metric, okay? So you can have that set up, and also custom graphs basically representing different KPI metrics like outbound attempted and so on. Actually, I think that I'm going to be adding these custom graphs directly native natively here in this list. But yeah. Then what else? I have shown you about these. Then we have the callbacks. That basically here in pending, you'll see all the callbacks pending and when they are going to be done. Once a callback starts, it's going to be here in progress, and once the callback is finished, it's going to be placed here in done. Okay. Actually, for the callbacks, I'm going to be showing you how it works. You can have this schedule callback node, or as I've said, I think the agent has a tool natively. Okay, and basically lets you to select another call flow in case that you want to be setting up a call flow specifically for callbacks, okay, or for this specific callback. So let you select the call flow, the zip trunk that it's going to be using to do the call, and then you have different scheduling modes. So instant, after a delay, and you can have this delay added. For example, let's imagine that you have a user that tells the agent to call them in 30 minutes. So basically this is going to be set up like this. Yeah, I have to improve the UI a little bit, I think, but yeah, 30 minutes. Okay. You can also have these set up as agent decides, including the conversation context, or you can have a preferred window. Okay. Like scheduling the callback between this and this. Okay. So basically looks like this. Then I was working actually today on this new human agents tab that basically lets you control the human agents that are going to be taking the escalations of the calls. So you can set up here a transfer call to human, okay? And you can have directly this be transferred to a phone call, to a phone number that you set here directly. Or you can have, if you select the manual mode, you can directly transfer this call to an agent, to a human agent that you have set up in the tab. Or you can have this call be transferred to a whole department. So basically it's going to be trying to reach to an agent. It's first going to be reaching out to one agent, to one human agent. If that human agent is not taking the call, it's going to be trying with the second agent and all this. Okay, so that's why I have added departments here so that you can then add this a specific human agent to a department. Okay, and in departments, you can set a fallback message instead in case that no human agents are available, okay, to take the escalation. Great. What else? Yeah, you have here a batch outbound. It's in quote unquote beta. It's a pretty basic tool to just allow you to call, okay, to make batch outbound calls, but make sure that you are compliant with the laws and all this. That's why I have added the legal compliance warning, telling you that make sure that you are complying with this. I will not be responsible for whatever things you have happens to you, okay? But you can add a CSV here. It's going to be automatically imported. You can schedule the calls and so on, okay? Then you can have phone numbers here being added. You will not be able to buy a phone number directly in this software. You have to purchase the phone numbers from a zip trunk provider or a phone number provider. Okay. You can also set up the zip trunks here. I'm not showing you these two different sections because I have added some phone numbers to test the agents and so on, and I don't want the phone numbers to be leaked. But yeah, it's basically a list to add a phone number and zip trunks for inbound and outbound, and also to set up the dispatch rules in case that you want to be editing the dispatch rules manually, okay? All the dispatch rules are managed by call flows, okay, to make life easier, but yeah, in case that you want a little bit more control, you have that. Then in settings, here in AI services, you'll be able to set up all the API keys for all the providers. Then in preferences, you're going to be able to activate the license key because this is fully self-hostable. However, I want to be fully transparent. It's not open source, okay? However, as you've seen, I've been adding a lot of stuff to let you export the agents, whatever information that you want to export. So it's not open source, but I'm trying to introduce as much of the open source philosophy to the product, okay? Because actually, in case that you deactivate the license, the only thing that's going to happen is that you're not going to be able to start the agents. Everything else, it's kept inside here. It's fully accessible, even the code of the agents, okay? It is not open source, strictly open source, but I tried to add it as much of the open source philosophy to the product as I could, okay? Then you can set up SMTP. This is going to be used for the email nodes and the email tools of the agents. Also, it's going to be used for the password recovery in case that you forget your password, okay? However, if you don't have this set up, I have added another method to recover the password, okay? That does not require emails to be sent. And your account, you can set here the email, the password, and set up two-factor authentication, okay? Then in users, you can invite other users. And also you can manage permissions for each user. I'll have to update this to make sure that there are all the permissions for all the new features that I've been adding. And then here in reset password, this is the other system that does not require emails to be sent to recover the password. So basically how it works is you as an admin have access to this. You can share this reset code to the user, and the user is going to be pasting this reset code, and then it's going to be able to reset the password with the username, entering the username and the reset code. You can also copy the info just to send directly to the user. And yeah, this is basically to allow other users to get inside the software and help you manage everything or whatever you give permissions to. And you also have an API. This is not my primary focus right now. I'm just trying to be able to release this, to have this actually be production ready, okay? However, once everything is done, the features that I'm adding now, I'll be improving the API and all this. I'm going to be doing a full documentation on the API publicly, not here inside of the software itself. And yeah, and also I've added a backup system. Currently, the only method that you can do backups is manual backups, okay? However, as you can see, I'm planning on adding automatic backups. You can download the backup, and basically what it does, it's saving the agents, the recordings, the conversation history, and all this, saving the SIP trunks, the phone numbers, and all this. And I'm actually going to be adding the human agents configuration into the backup system. But yeah, and it is pretty much it. I think that it's been interesting to you. I have some other features planned that are actually being tested now. And I'm just making sure that call flows is as complete as possible. I was also yesterday working on this testing thing so that you can have these variables saved temporarily in the editing mode here, and then you can use these variables in, for example, in conditionals and whatever. Conditionals are pretty complete, it gives you full control. So I'm trying to make this as simple as possible, but without sacrificing control. So I'm focusing on giving full control, technically and also business-wise, okay, with all these metrics, giving you full control to make sure that you invoice the amount that you want to the client or that the software fits your business model. So I'm trying to make this so that it gives you full control on how it goes. However, maintaining this control, I'm trying to make things as simple as possible. So yeah, I'm probably going to be uploading weekly videos, maybe bi-weekly, possibly bi-weekly, I think, because I have a lot of work to do and I think that it's probably going to be positive. I just upload bi-weekly. You'll be seeing a lot of progress between videos, of course. But yeah, see you in the next video. I hope that this has been interesting to you. And probably once this is launched, I'll get back to do the videos that I was doing 3-4 months ago. Okay? See you in the next one.